Hi everybody, Gabrielle here. I'm back. Took a couple days off. Was really tired. Um, was recovering from a head cold that was taking its sweet ass time to get on out of here. But that's usually me. Once I finally do get ill, it takes a minute because it takes so long for this shit to really catch me. But whatever. I look at it as an opportunity to rest because clearly I needed it. It's so funny. I was so excited about the eclipse, right? Hold on, I'm trying to find a good angle. And I fell asleep. But you know what? I have actually seen a blood moon lunar eclipse before, in 2017, actually. I was on the beach in Virginia Beach to be exact. And I was there with my family at the time, and it was a nice vacation overall. But it was like the beginning of the end, and it was the first time I understood the magnitude of eclipse seasons. Holy shit, y'all. It was that first moment when I realized how screwy my excuse me. How screwy my current relationship at the time was. It got to a point where y'all know how it gets with the everyday interactions and long-term relationships, that things get a little stagnant, a little routine. But one thing we always did very well was vacation. We always traveled well together. We vacationed well. And it was probably the first trip where shit didn't go right. It really didn't. It started with a tire blowout. Now, I had been on my ex at the time, my husband at the time, to deal with the car. And instead of listening to sound advice, instead of him getting like a tire pressure gauge and making sure the one that he had was functioning and shit like that, he decided to just keep filling up the tire. You know what I mean? Instead of checking the gauge and checking the wear and tear and common sense protocol when you own a vehicle, he decided to just not follow protocol. And it looked like he had overinflated the tire. But I'm not a driver like that. Like, I don't, so people tend to dismiss the shit that I say about a car and driving more than they should, not understanding that, sometimes a novice sees shit clearer than someone who's been doing something forever and a day, because we don't have the blinders associated with tunnel vision and a long practice. And so we're driving along, and let me tell you, my gifts have been around for a very long time, sometimes more active, sometimes dormant, but when I tell you my life is in danger, it kicks in a way that is kind of blessed. It's not even kind of blessed. It's blessed. It's blessed. Trust me, that sense of self-preservation, that primordial self that lives in your root chakra, your sacral chakra, where the seat of your inner child is. Children only know, they sense. And so when we get down to sensing impending shit, that's the area that activates, at least that I've found. And all of a sudden, I had this, like, oh my God, slow down. And literally the minute he decelerated, the fucking tire blew. Huh. Interesting, right? Right. So we end up going to find a Firestone or Goodyear or some shit like that. Luckily, there was one at the very exit that we blew out at. Talk about divine intervention, right? And it was like the beginning of me really looking at him sideways, like truly sideways. Because I had been, okay, all right, to the point where I wanted to mug him. I'm sure we've all been there. And if you haven't, you got an outstanding relationship. Or maybe it's too new and you ain't been there yet. But the tension that caused. Now, the reason that caused like that level of tension. Now, before we went down there the year before, had a nice time. On the way home, we got rear-ended. Now, that's nobody's fault but the schmuck in back of us. But my point is, there's a trauma print associated with this journey, with this area. Can't help it. That's just the way it works. So I'm a little bit on guard when I'm heading in this area because I find people a little bit more fucking reckless. For whatever reason, I think it's the overabundance of like military and government personnel, but who knows? And this fucker, I mean, when I tell you the guy who rear-ended us pulled out like, he pulled away so fast, made me think he was actually somebody. Because he did do tail damage. And my partner at the time, instead of being Johnny on the spot and getting the information, like I kept telling him, like there was damage to the back of our car, not to mention being rear-ended, the chance of whiplash and all of that. So it's just the right thing to do, to exchange information, no matter how minor the incident. But anyway, and it was just really scary because we were on 95 and it was raining. And so I get it, right? But the reasonable thing would have been to do was to pull over to an exit and do this the right way and not obstruct traffic and not put all of our lives in any further danger by being stopped on the interstate in the actual lane, driving lane, with oncoming traffic, with traffic coming because it's raining and you can't see and it's that. But that was like a consistent demonstration of me being ignored about real life shit. I'm not talking about, oh, the bills, oh, we need groceries. Oh, no, I'm talking real life shit. And so, again, eclipse season for me has always been a motherfucker, especially since I've stepped on the path. It was just so much about that trip in particular that really was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Now, I have been trying to put things behind me. You know what I mean? Just push it down. Oh, no. And then you get to a critical mass where you can't anymore. But that trip to Virginia, right? That blood moon, that lunar eclipse we saw that night. It was completely accidental. Had no idea. I wasn't even tracking astronomy on that level yet. I hadn't quite jumped fully into where I am now. I was still kind of testing the water, putting my toe in, seeing if the temperature was right. Oh, nope, still too cold. Oh, nope, too hot. But I had taken so many pictures that night on the beach, and there were so many people out there just mesmerized. And again, probably doing some work. Didn't know at the time. Was a little naive, man. So, and when I went to review the pictures, I caught all these images of apparitions on the beach that night with us. Now, interestingly enough, they don't usually reveal themselves in front of me. For whatever reason, I'm okay with that. But I have an ability to capture with film and to see things that other people capture with their film. That's one of my talents. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Yeah. And at that moment, now I have deep family connection, like so many Americans, to Virginia, the ships and the beginning of our nation over there. But I mean, my family lineage goes back to 1635 in this country. Yeah, I know, right? I think it's a blessing that I was even able to track it back that far. But to that particular area, no less. Excuse me. Excuse me, this last batch, boy. That's another reason why I ain't been doing these readings, right? This ain't for this. This is a sedative. This is the wrong strand to be doing this shit. I tell you that right now. One too many of these, you be like, looking like Beavis and Butthead stuck on the couch. But anyway, the apparitions. As I reviewed my photos and I saw an Indian chief. Now, I had been doing research trying to figure out what tribal community my family belongs to in those areas, and it's very difficult without true track record. But Spirit always has a way of letting you know. I felt, now when I travel, I do overwhelmingly, I'm usually comfortable. I don't go to places where I don't think I will be well received. But I normally travel exceptionally well. It's so rare if I have a weird trip. And it's usually truly only associated with a handful of people. But anyway, it was confirmation for me that I not only was in the right place, but that my ancestors approved. My ancestors approved. Now, I had a medium tell me years ago that I came from a very, very, very long line of healers. A paternal, on my mother's side, but her father's lineage. Now, that kind of blew my mind. Blew hers too, okay? Because, you know, older generations, they don't talk like that. And, you know, religion has a funny way of splitting families up. And so, you know, if there was any of that in the history, they did a hell of a job at, you know, covering it up and making it so uncomfortable to even bridge conversations that you just don't. Or you're so bombarded with everyone else in the environment that you can't get a quiet moment to ask about some real shit to your remaining matriarchs. But that's okay, because I know the same way I've come to all the rest of this knowledge, that the Most High and my ancestors, when they need me to know something, they let me know. So I choose not to worry. But it sits there, and it's a driving passion in another avenue of my life. And I probably will do some shamanic journeying and some maybe some past life shit eventually. The shamanic journeying, definitely, because I would like to know my ancestors. I would like to meet the great healers in my lineage. I've already found out quite a bit about my own reincarnations, about the consistency of my life paths. How about that? But anyway, y'all rambled on for 13 minutes. And what? It's been a minute, y'all. How you doing? But anyway, for this lunar eclipse last night, right? My ass fell asleep. I'm not even on front. Like, I was excited. But this ain't my eclipse. I'm an earth sign. This shit's only really good for fire signs and air signs. So if you earth and water, back up. There'll be some tail energy from Cancer, because the eclipse was only in the first degree of Leo. But I'm telling you now. Like, I got some rising water signs and moon water. But I think that's going to primarily affect me in how I initially interact with people. It's going to make me a little bit rawer, a little bit more aggressive. So I'm choosing to stay out of people's way right now, because I already have an assertive personality. So I don't think that's the time. I think now is the time to just rest and recuperate. Like, I told y'all how much I've been sleeping, it's crazy. And then I woke up this morning at 6:30. Like, what's up? So I just go with it. But anyway, let's get into this reading. It's starting now at 14:38. Thank you. So I wanted to see what messages we had for the collective. Oh, I got a new wand. Look at this. This is a manifestation wand. Right? This is how you do. Right? from your voice into 3D. Yeah. It's selenite, jet, amethyst. Yep. I'm excited by that, but this is the one we use for divination. This one helps bring in very clear messages from the highest realms. But the combination of the two allows me to truly be a channel. It amplifies, as it were. Overall, it looks like a good reading. So we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups as the overall energy. We have the Six of Wands and the Emperor card and the Five of Wands. We have the Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. We have the Moon, the Two of Swords, and the King of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles is long-standing commitments, relationships, marriages, that sort of thing. And then we have the Ace of Cups underneath of it. So we have, it's like renewed love in an old relationship. It's like a wellspring coming forth. You see how dry, excuse me. I moved the setup, hoping the cards wouldn't get so messy, right? Because sometimes the OCD is real. Yeah. You see how this is all dry, this path, like the grass is barely growing up through there. It's like this cup of love is coming up to water, to rehydrate this situation. To bring life back to it. It's like it's been dehydrated, preserved type shit. And it's like, here come the add water. Like, this is a recipe. That's so funny. I'm getting like a recipe. Like somebody used a food dehydrator, right? It said, we gonna preserve this for longevity, right? We can't deal with it right now. But I don't want it to go bad. I don't want it to expire. So I'm gonna put this in the dehydrator and let it dry out. And when I'm ready to cook this, when I'm ready to eat it, to consume it, I will add water. Recipes for love. Oh, shit. That's what we gonna call it. Recipe for love. Yes. Recipe for love. That's how I do, boo. I put notes out. So I can remember. Because, sometimes short-term memory could be a problem. So we have a victorious, or someone's feeling very confident with this Six of Wands here. Very confident. Very confident. With this Emperor. It's like, I can't tell you how I get the great Houdini. Like, I don't know. It's the stance. It's how they're all waiting. And she's like, raise your wands. Like, it's Dumbledore. And these are all the first years at Hogwarts. Or she's Dumbledore. And these are all the first years at Hogwarts. You know what I mean? And they're all there like, monkey see, monkey do. Watch. Stand in awe as I amaze you with my next trick. Oh, we do have a divine counterpart out here, though. We have the King and Queen of Cups. I know I said it as I was reading the cards off, but it didn't register. Yeah. Stubborn bull. That's all I'm getting from that Emperor. I shit you not. This dude is... I'm stubborn. Feeling all charged up from the moon and shit. Look at this. Look. You see how the moon is slicing through? It's like a mimicking of the eclipse, almost. Yeah. They... Oh, sorry for the shake. I'm trying to stretch. Anyway, yeah. Overcoming the Emperor. That's what I'm getting. Overcoming the Emperor. Overcoming the Emperor. So the fact that stubborn bull's jumping out to me, I'm getting more Taurus energy than actual Aries ram energy. So maybe somebody's dealing with a Taurus. Yeah, but I see victory in overcoming this situation. His back. It's so funny because his back's to the situation, but his ear's not. You know what I mean? Like, he listening. He trying not to pay attention, but he can't help it. Can't help that shit. Yeah. Because it's like... The games. That 5 of Wands. The games, man. Come back. Sorry, trying to get the right angle. There we go. Yeah. Victory over the Emperor and his games. And their games. Overcomer the Emperor and their games. But also, right, maybe the Emperor is mastering themselves. You know, maybe they're getting over their own games. I would say petty. Even juvenile. But, you know, this could almost be... It could be a mastery of self, but I don't see it that way because of this 10 of Pentacles over there. You know, this is a connection. Plus, we got a divine partnership down here. You know, King and Queen of Cups here. And it's like, you have this Page of Cups over here. And you see 3 people. And you see the full moon behind the page. What's come to light is how much this person has been indulging. How much of their own cup they've been filling. And how they've actually been leaving everyone else involved very wanting. See how her hands outstretched, like, what about me? What about me? Right? What about me? Reminds me of that scene from Captain Hook. And it's like, it's Mr. Shmee saying it. And then all of a sudden he goes, what about Shmee? What about me? Right. Uh-huh. And even though it's so funny, there are 3 people in this card, right? This guy here, he not even real. You understand? This is like her spiritual support. Her hands outstretched. She's like weak. And this guy back here is supporting her, which is like divinity, right? Which is like God and spirit and the universe supporting you through all of this, right? And her arms outstretched, and she's like, hey, don't drink it all. It's cool. It's cool. Look. See this queen right here? See how she got her own cup now? See how her hand's over it? See? See this moon energy? See, the Queen of Cups, that's water. That's the moon. That's emotion. She ruled that shit with this guy. With this guy. His cup up, open. Her cup is closed. But that makes sense, right? Because if this is them young, right? This is like their juvenile state. See, this is page energy. This is how it was before. And you see how small, look. See how small the water is back there? You see how fertile the ground is? You see that block he's sitting on? It looked like a good foundation, didn't it? It really did. It was solid, or so you thought. See the fish back there coming together. You thought it was going to be something. Here you come in, right? Like I said, this is a long-standing connection, a relationship, a marriage, or partnership, whatever the hell this is. I'm gonna say marriage because you got Ten of Pentacles, excuse me, Ace of Cups, and then you got the King and Queen of Cups. So I'm gonna say this is a relationship, a marriage. And when y'all was young and shit, right? You thought you were being divinely guided to this shit. See, this is her spiritual support. She like, okay, this is it. Let me reach here. Boo boo. Yeah, you were being divinely guided there, right? Because you had something to fucking learn. You sure did. You sure did. And I love how the moon card is underneath that page of cups right there. We'll get to that. Yeah. See, all this did, you were meant to be there. You were. There's no accidents. I don't believe in accidents like that or coincidences. How about that? Everything has a divine purpose and order. It's not us simple humans to always comprehend it. Sometimes you just got to go with the program. But anyway, all this shit did here was mature her to here. That's it. So in essence, it's like, thank you, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. You stop putting your hand out to every little thing. You know what I mean? You stop giving to every little thing. You decided to close shop, to power up, and reserve all that shit for yourself. Look at this. Look at how statuesque she's sitting. How straight her back is. How perfect her posture is. How ladylike she's become. Left over right, a lady reveals nothing. I don't know how many of you watched A League of Their Own when they had to go through charm school and shit. But yeah. And you know what it did? It helped you step into your emotions and recognize them. And they built real big. That's a lot to hold back. That's a lot to hold back. But see, what you didn't see was the clouds back there. What you didn't see was the storm coming to obscure this illuminated stance of someone who was only out for self. Only out for self. Only looking to fill their cup, to get what they could get. And it's okay. And it left you juggling. It left you out of balance is actually what this is. Not even juggling. It left you out of balance. It sent you in two different directions. It sent you in two different directions. Unstable. Sent you out looking in search. Sent two parties out. Like, I can't. Something sent you searching. But what it also did, this dog to me is like Sirius, the dog star planet, constellation. Excuse me. Sirius. And it's like, what this did was bring, oh, I'm getting spirit chills. Holy crap. What this did was bring you closer to the divine, to your life purpose and your mission, and connect you to who and what you were supposed to be connected with. That's what this did for you. The feminine energy. It's exactly what it did for you. Huh. And it's funny, right? Because it's like it's not like it had a dissimilar impact on this other person, on this King of Cups here. This person who needs to come into this Emperor energy here. And so now we have the moon. And last night was the super wolf blood moon. Wolf meaning January in the Native American calendar, right? Right. You may not know that, but go fact check me. As a matter of fact, go fact check what Native American animal you were born under. Meaning there's a calendar for them, and each month is represented by an animal. So go see if you were hawk or bear or wolf or whatever. And leave your comments. I think that'll be fun. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, so this is a revelation. Last night, during that super wolf blood moon, the last one in this eclipse season that we've been going through for many years now, this is kind of like, not only have things been revealed and illuminated, and not only have people come to terms with their feelings and their emotions, because they have. They truly have. And they have, you see these towers? They're equal. They are equal. This ain't like the tower card itself. What was revealed is that these people are equal. Look, two different dogs, canine species, both canine nonetheless, right? This one appears more savage. This one has the same predatory instincts. It just comes in a different package. And so, with this full moon, lunar eclipse we just had in the sign of the wolf, I see a restoring of harmony and balance. In the season of the wolf. So before the end of January, I'm going to go ahead and say this, right? Because that's what I'm getting. So before the season of the wolf ends, harmony and balance. A step in the right direction. A leg up, as it were. An elevated Six of Wands. An elevated action. No more mental struggles. No more isolation. No more coldness. None of that. You see how she's dressed in the Two of Swords there? Do you see the environment? You know how hot and raring to go, you must be. The battle that is about to ensue or that has ensued for you to be stripped down in such an environment. Better to let your body, have access to air instead of perspiring in the cold weather. So, before the season of the wolf ends, balance and harmony will be restored. And whereas this queen is no longer offering love, this king will now open up. I mean, open up big time. Big, 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 big time. From the deep, deep, deep. See all the bottom crawlers of the oceans coming out, starfish and crabs. He's holding a Triton. That's Neptune. Ooh, we got some I gotta look. Okay, let me write that down. Neptune. What? Transit. As a matter of fact, hold on. I think it might be on my calendar. Wow. I just went and got the calendar. Sorry about that. Get yourself a Llewellyn 2019 astrological calendar, because that's what I'm looking at. Neptune. Neptune. So as a matter of fact, right, last night there was a major conjunction with Neptune. And it's going to continue through the duration of this month. Ephemius tables. But these calculations are done at Greenwich Mean Time. Sorry, Faye. Oh, shit. So what is this? Today, tomorrow, and the 24th. So through the 24th, all these epiphanies, right? It's about to pop. All this illusionary, deep, watery emotion bullshit, the deception of self and everything else, and it's done. It's done. Yeah. And they cup is open, and they are going to be offering, because they remember. See the dolphins here, and see the dolphins back there. Remember when y'all was young, how he was just filling his own cup up, and he drank so much of your love that you made this motherfucker a king. He made you a queen too, right? Y'all was both royalty, for real. But what your energy did for this cocksucker, sorry, that's how I feel, is it brought him to here. That's what it did for them. It elevated them in a way that they themselves could have never foreseen. Interesting, right? But now that you're depleted and you're left empty and wanting out or whatever this is, here they come to restore a dried up, dehydrated situation. Here they come with a big ass cup. Trying to help you now. Give you back some love now that they realize that they drank so much. They took so much. Left you with just enough for yourself. Like, you cool, I don't even drink no more. Look, she's like, it's cool, I don't even drink no more. I'm good. I was just watching this story on the news about this bar in New York called Existing Conditions. They said America is taking a healthier stance and not drinking so much alcohol. They've seen a 5% drop per capita in alcohol consumption. And so they decided to capitalize on this like any good business owners would and come up with a whole line of I don't want to use the term mocktail, but that's what it is. But they don't call them that. They're cocktails. They just don't have alcohol in them. And so they put so much work and effort into the non-alcoholic drinks. I mean, like, the story was great. Like, it takes hours and hours and hours of prep to come together. And I appreciate that sort of attention to detail. And it's just so funny because I was thinking about a girlfriend of mine who many, many years ago, when she stopped drinking for whatever reason, I think she drinks again now, but at that time she didn't, and I respected it, but she also respected the fact that I did. And so when I said, hey, do you want to go to the bar? She didn't bat an eye. She went to the bar and ordered a club soda and lime with me, and we had a nice time. And I really admired her. I did, because I didn't think I possessed that sort of wherewithal, because I've never been at that place with alcohol. I've been that place with many of other things where I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want none. I'm good. I just don't want it no more. I'm good. Like, I enjoyed my youth very well. You know, I partied my ass off, and it got to a point where I was like, no, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm okay. Y'all can, but I'm good. But then I tell you what, you know what else happened? I got intolerant to those who were still in that lifestyle. It was me vibrating up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize what was happening. I was just gritted with their presence and their actions. And really what started it, I'm going to be 100% honest. One time my homie came over, a mutual friend, and we all used to party together. And this dude, the way he looked, and I was stone cold sober. Shit. He looked like the fucking crypt keeper. Dang. I was like, oh my God, we almost look like this. When we do this, this is what happens to all of us. And in that moment, I said, nah, I'm good. Nah, man, you ain't gonna catch me like that. So I decided in that, like before, because I had already stopped partying. But I just made, it was like an absolute concrete decision in that moment. Like, nah, I'm good, dog. Nope. And my intolerance for the whole lifestyle and all the activities just became super intolerant. And that drove a hell of a wedge between me and my partner at the time, to where he went searching for people who were, who condoned that sort of activity. And he found it. And then we parted ways. You know, it's like, it's fine. People need this, you have to accept a breakup. They're hard. And that one was hard for many reasons that I will not get into. But you have to accept it. And in the end, I was grateful. And in the end, I thanked him. And in the end, we still can communicate. In the end, it'll never be a point of considered reconciliation, because that's that part of life, and that shit's done with. And no matter how many times someone comes barking up your tree, you have to remember the reasons why you parted ways. And that if that person and you were toxic together, the reality of that, if you come back together, the toxicity will continue. Even if you both grown leaps and bounds, there's just the chance. And it's not a lack of strength. It's really familiarity breeds contempt. And so people tend to try you when they think they know you. And if they catch you slipping, the devil gets in. So I tend to really walk this walk of not going backwards. Just saying. Just saying. Now, it's funny because when I was shuffling the cards, right? Look, sorry, hold on. Before I say that, the bottom of the deck is the Hangman, and under that is the Four of Cups, right? So you have meditation and enlightenment before action with this Page of Wands, right? But anyway, so all of this, right? All of this has brought about a brand new recipe for love. So this eclipse is shedding some massive light on things. Massive light on things. But we shall see what'll happen. Because, again, I'm seeing you by the end of wolf season. So by the end of January, someone will come forward in this divine connection, this equal yoking, because King and Queen of Cups, that's a perfect match. What'll happen? Now let's just do that now, right? Because I'm nosy as shit. What is the likely outcome for this new offer of love? Wow. And immediately, right? Immediately, five cards drop. So we have Six of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Ten of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Six of Cups. Wow. So we have someone wanting balance. So what is a likely outcome? Reciprocity. After truth, and I mean a harsh truth about betrayals, past betrayals. Because this is over, right? 10, it's already done. This has happened already. Before a sincere, this is action of love, can be rekindled. I mean, it looks good, right? But here's the thing. See how the Knight is moving away from this? That's really what has to happen. Yeah, this is all before the end of January. Let me see. I'm seeing that 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy shit, guys. It's literally exactly 10 days before the end of January. 10 of Swords, 10 days. We shall see. We shall see. But before the end of January, there is going to be an offer of love coming in to restore. Six of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. That's a long-standing relationship. A marriage. We're just going to say that. For the end of January, an offer will come in that will restore a marriage. 10 days. 10 days. Offer. Coming before the end of wolf season. Interesting. All right, 50 minutes. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Love you guys. Bye.